rights may seem to protect our freedom of speech, it is controlled and limited by the government and the MPAA.
Perhaps one of the more popular shows that has enforced strict censorship is The Ed Sullivan Show. During the 1950s and 60s, the show featured some of the biggest musical acts of the time, the most favorite of the show being the Beatles. Although the Beatles did not stir up controversy involving censorship, many other bands were not so lucky.
Bob Dylan was scheduled to play on the Ed Sullivan Show. He was supposed to play the song Talkin' John Birch Paranoid Blues, except they told him he had to pick a different song because it was about communism. At the last minute they tell him to change the song. And they did it with the Doors too.
The Doors were scheduled to perform their song Light My Fire, but were not pleased when they were told to change a lyric that referenced getting high. In protest to this request to change the lyric, singer Jim Morrison did not change the line in the performance.
If I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire.
Probably the most famous act of censorship on the show, and perhaps in the past 100 years of television, is the censorship of Elvis Presley. When performing on The Ed Sullivan Show, the camera crew was instructed to film him above his waist because his dancing was considered vulgar.
Elvis had all these crazy dance moves that made all the little girls in the audience laugh and scream. And, they all really enjoyed it, but it was so unusual. Whether or not the censorship featured on TV was a violation of the First Amendment is really up to the individual. One way people are suggesting to fix the problem is to use the V-chip. It allows a person to customize the viewing experience to be as clean and safe as they please. Movies are rated with the rating system that most people are familiar with. Movies are rated according to their content, so that way parents can decide whether or not a film will be safe for their child. It's not really infringing on anybody's rights, it's just a way to let people know what they're going to be watching.
On the radio waves, the radio show host that has caused the most questioning of the FCC's regulations is Howard Stern.
My show, The Howard Stern Show, has been on the air for a very long time now. It used to be on regular radio, and, I've done a lot of racy things on the air, a lot of things that might offend people, or, that might hurt people's feelings. But it proves that it gets ratings. It's what people want to hear. And the FCC's been bugging me about it for as long as I've been on the air. Because they don't like it, because I'm pushing the boundaries. But I'm just expressing my right as an American citizen. I am expressing my rights under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. And the FCC doesn't like that? Well, what can I do? I'm an American. I have the right to do that. So I moved to Sirius, which is satellite radio. And they still bug me there, still trying to get me off the air, still trying to fine me. I actually was fined almost $2 million when I was on regular radio, which is ridiculous. But, FCC, I'm the king of all media. What, baby? There's nothing you can do about me. And you know what? If you don't like it, you can kiss my beep.
Regardless of the protection of the First Amendment, the FCC makes the final decisions of what is or isn't aired. To some, it may seem that the First Amendment may not play much of a role at all in the FCC's decisions. To others, they make programming safe for viewers.